All right, welcome back to Dream Talk. I'm your host, Brian Ladd. Today is Monday, March 15th, 2010, 8:25 p.m. We have one case to discuss tonight, and that's case number 859, Jamie E. Harper. We have some information to put out for Gabriel Scott Johnson, and then we have some news for Kaylee Marie Anthony. I know we said we weren't going to discuss that case again, but per new information that Susan has, we have decided to reopen that case to investigate a few things. I have on the phone with me my co-host Deborah, of course. I have Susan, and we have two guests tonight, and they are Larry and Dalton. Hi, guys.
Hi.
How is everybody doing?
Good. Good.
It's glad to have you guys back, Larry and Dalton. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's great to be back, definitely.
Good. Hi, Susan. How you doing?
I'm fine, Brian. How are you?
Good. I'd mentioned yesterday I was flooded out. Looks like the Potomac River is going back down, though, so it's pretty much dried up in here. So I'm good to go. And Deborah, you doing good?
I'm doing great, and I want to thank Larry and Dalton for coming on the show tonight. I talked with them earlier, and it's great to have you guys on tonight sharing your information about the search. So thanks for being
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's appreciated. Now, I did do the case for you. I know it took me a little while. Sorry for it took me so long to get to it. Deborah did send it to me the other night. I do have it posted, and I believe that Deborah has shared that information with you. So we'll get that started. Anyways, what happened last night is we did a broadcast, and for some reason or another, it did not convert on Ustream. So tonight we're skipping Ustream. We're just going to record it ourselves, and that's what we're doing. This is case number 859, Jamie E. Harper. The case was opened on March 14th of 2010. Dream drawings were done the previous night. As far as I know today, Jamie has not been located. This case may be related to some other cases. Deborah's going to bring that up. So that said, Deborah, what information do we have for Jamie?
Okay, well, originally Larry and Dalton had asked you to consult on this case. And you worked on this case, I believe this past Saturday night is when you did it, and you posted it yesterday, Sunday. You had conversation with them almost a week prior to that, so, you know, you had some good time in between to work on that. As far as, you know, the way you work, a lot of people don't understand, you know, when you work on cases, if you discuss them and if you work on them too quickly, then, you know, your results may not be, you know, what you're looking for. They might get influenced and stuff. So the case was requested, and then, you know, after a period of time, you worked on it. So Jamie herself now has been missing since March 9th of 2007 from Paxton, Illinois. Now, she's listed as an endangered missing, 20 years old, 5 feet tall, 125 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, a white female. She has an unknown tribal design tattoo on the small of her back. Medical conditions. Jamie has epilepsy, and she hasn't had her medication for her epilepsy that is needed. She was last seen wearing blue jeans, a white jacket, sandals, and carrying a small black bag. She did have a nose ring in her left nostril, and she was last seen, like we talked about, in Paxton, Illinois. She left to go to a party in Rantoul, Illinois, with her boyfriend, and she said that she'd be back the next morning. Her boyfriend had things to take care of, and she was going to find a ride home, but no one has seen her since. As I said earlier, she does have epilepsy, and she does not have her medication with her. Now, shortly after she went missing, police received a tip from an anonymous caller that Jamie had overdosed, and her body had been disposed of in an area southeast of Paxton known as Dogtown. The area, which includes 3 gravel pits, has been searched, but no evidence was found. Now, according to the crime library, and that's crimelibrary.com, the chief of police has noted similarities between Jamie's disappearance and the disappearance of another young woman named Heather Dawn Mullen Zimmerman. They say that some of the same people may be involved, and a tipster had also called a news station in 1997 stating that Heather would be found in Dogtown gravel pits. They haven't ruled out foul play in either of their disappearances, and since the cases may be related, I'm going to get Heather's information out there quickly too, even though you haven't officially opened the case, Brian.
No, I haven't.
She's missing since May 26th of 1997 from Gifford, Illinois. Her date of birth, October 17th of 1977, 19 at the time, 5 feet 6 inches tall, 115 pounds. blonde hair, green eyes, a white female. Distinguishing characteristics about Heather is that she has a tattoo of 3 red roses with a black stem on her left outer ankle, and that she's right-handed. She was last seen wearing a medium-sized Sears navy chambray shirt, stone-washed bell-bottom jeans, size 9, and black St. Michael shoes, size 9 or 9.5. Now, they say that she was last seen May 26th of 1997. Her mom and dad say that she took a soda from the refrigerator and she left the house at about 8:30 at night. She may have visited a friend in a rural Rantoul, Illinois area that night. So here we go back to, the same area that, Jamie's missing from, Rantoul, Illinois, which is spelled R-A-N-T-O-U-L. Authorities received information that she was dropped off near her family's residence during the early morning of May 27th, but that was never confirmed, and Heather was never heard from again. Heather's husband, Michael Zimmerman, was enlisted with the United States Marines in Japan in 1997. She was living with her parents in Gifford, Illinois, while he was serving in Japan. Her loved ones said that their marriage was troubled at times, and some reports state that they were divorced or separated. She left all of her personal belongings at home. Her mother said that Heather's purse had been stolen shortly before her disappearance, so as a result of that, she was not carrying any credit cards, cash, or identification. Heather was employed as a clerk at Casey's store in 1997. She never retrieved her paycheck, her last paycheck there, that they had for her. Extensive searches of the area produced no clues as to her whereabouts. Her family members said it's very uncharacteristic of her to leave without warning, and she did not have access to a vehicle at the time. There have been no arrests made in connection with her case. Now, in June of 1997, an unidentified man called WCIA Channel 3 television and said that Heather's body could be found in a borrow pit north of Gifford. The area was thoroughly searched, but no trace of Heather was found. In November of 1998, a gravel pit was also searched with the same results, though canine units did alert to the smell of human remains in that gravel pit. So that's what I have on those 2 cases. And what do you have, Brian?
Thank you. Do we want to, Larry and Dalton, do you want to bring up what you have now, or what are we going with tonight?
Sure, we'll go ahead and bring up what we got now.
Okay, yeah, please tell us what happened. Now, Larry and Dalton were out there yesterday looking for Jamie.
We actually just kind of had like a little meeting with Will. And about Jamie, and we got more data on Jamie that night instead of going to search for her. So we wanted to listen to the data that Jamie's best friend Brian got.
Okay, but did you guys go out and search yesterday?
No,
you didn't. Okay.
However,
well, tell us what you got so far. What you're doing.
First thing we want to do is tell you that you were uncannily accurate.
Okay.
I mean, when we tell you what happened.
Okay.
During our search a week ago, and we've had no communication.
Right.
Literally this week. It's just uncanny. So we're definitely onto something. You opened some new doors for us.
Okay.
Yes, big time.
You definitely hit on this, Brian. I mean, you hit it right on the head.
Okay, well, let me go over then the dream drawings then, and then if you guys want to.
All right, go ahead. I'll explain afterwards.
Okay. Okay. The dream drawings were posted, I believe, yesterday, March 14th of 2010. They were done the previous night. Again, this is case number 859, which was requested, I believe, by Larry. The request was sent to me from Larry, then I sent it to Deborah, and then Deborah again sent it back to me the way she normally does. And that's the image you see posted up on top would be the actual page of the what I used to get this information. Which is folded up, put it under my pillow. Sounds crazy, but that's what I do. The first dream drawing says, calls are not from him, worked in an auto garage, and then the numbers 2 and 4. Now, we discussed yesterday that the symbol below is definitely the death symbol that you usually get, and the soul is usually the same thing. We discussed that possibly this person that did this works at some type of auto garage, and we weren't exactly sure what the numbers 2 and 4 were. They could be maybe a building number, or really we don't know. thus far. The next dream drawing says Dalton, and this is referring to Dalton, the person we're talking to right now. I'm almost positive of that because I knew that Dalton and Larry were going to go out search. It says the area is wet. You felt it, and I believe this is referring to Dalton. 3 deaths, and then it says 160 feet, and I believe that little symbol there is the foot symbol. 160 feet, 375. Go ahead.
It said 160.
Yeah, 160. 160, 375, and 816. And what I believe they are, if you find one body, you could use that little map right there to find the other 2.
Yeah, a little map, like how many feet away they are.
Yeah. Well, one is north. The first one is north, and I believe the second 375 would be by north east, and the other one is due east. And I do believe that there are 2 other people that may be associated with this case that are unfortunately deceased. And then the word Amtrak, and an Amtrak, as we know, is a train. It might be a train station. I'm not exactly sure on that one. The next one again mentions Dalton. It says Dalton, not dogs. Now I remember Larry had mentioned something about dogs, and I think in his response would be not dogs, which might be something maybe not in the area that whatever. I'm not exactly sure on that one, but that's what it says. I don't think it says not dogs, meaning like, you know, they're not literally dogs, as a lot of people might think. Again, it says wet area, you were there, and then it says off limit. Now, if you weren't searching yesterday, I'm not exactly sure what that means, but you can, if you want to tell me a little bit later, you can. But then the word, it says off limit, and I believe off limit is actually an off limit sign that might be posted in the area. The next dream drawing says call was red herring. And a red herring, is most of us know, is a lot of times when people are involved in some type of case, they want to throw people off. They put out false information, which leads people to investigate something, and that's really not the case. It says the caller was Jason Steds, S-T-E-D-S. That might be the person that made the phone call that Deborah mentioned in the initial report. And it says not him, and then the word 3 bodies. So looking at this, I definitely think that this case is related to not just 1, but maybe 2 other missing persons. And Deborah, you had mentioned before you were giving the descriptions of these two girls here. They both had tattoos, correct?
Correct.
And were they both Native Americans or had part Native Americans?
One was an unknown tribal in the small of her back on Jamie, I believe, okay. And then Heather had 3 red roses with a black stem on her ankle, if I remember correctly. One thing I'd like to point out, Brian, when you were going through your dream drawings, when you talked about the one where it says Dalton area was wet, you felt it, 3 deaths, and then the 160 feet.
Yeah, I think Dalton felt something psychically. The word
Amtrak is there. One thing you left out mentioning is the HZ that you have there in a triangle, because that's important when I wanted to make sure that I pointed that out to you. You missed mentioning that.
You're right, I did skip it.
So I wanted to point that out because it is important when Larry and Dalton talk later.
Okay, but the HZ, to me, is in some type of a triangle. So I mean, it even could be H2. So I'm not exactly sure on that one. But if I want to go discuss that one particular dream drawing, then up to the left of that would be the death symbol again. But what I think is, this may not even happen yet, but since you haven't been out searching, Dalton, I think that you're going to, you may find Jamie, and I think that this may help you. But I definitely, go ahead.
Don't worry about that. I got some information to tell you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So what I said, I covered the dream drawings. Like I said, I don't remember these dreams, so that's my best interpretation of what I got. So Larry and Dalton, it's all yours.
Okay. Well, when you were talking about the no limit sign, I actually stumbled upon, like, I kind of went off on my own in the woods, like maybe a mile away from Dad, because I felt something like really strong hit me.
Okay, so you did search.
Yeah, we didn't search that day. It was a week late. It was a week before we gave the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I was searching. I got hit really strongly, like from nowhere. And so I just got like really strong feelings all of a sudden. So I kind of just went through the woods and cut through a bunch of areas to get there faster. And I stopped. Dad, I caught up with Dad and them because they were already next to us.
Okay.
And something told me to jump over the center block thing. It was like a center block that set on both sides of like.
Hey, Dalton, do me a favor. Your audio is going in and out. Are you moving back and forth?
No.
Okay. Can you get a little closer to the microphone? You were fine, and then it's really hard to hear you sometimes.
Is that better?
No. You were just fine.
Is that better?
Right, yeah, perfect, right there.
Okay.
Okay, please, the last 30 seconds we kind of missed.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of pretty much got a feeling, something. I stopped by the center block, and it was like a 2-ton block that set on both, like, gravel roads, or like when you go to like 4th Lane, you see the two. Okay, well, they have like 2 big 2-ton cinder blocks, and they have a chain so you don't go in there.
Okay.
Well, the chain was cut and everything, so people could go back there, and people hunt back there all the time. But anyways, something told me to jump over the cinder block and look around. So I did. I jumped over the cinder block, and I looked around, and I looked, and I seen under the leaves an orange sign. I picked it up, and it said no trespass. So that might have been the no limit sign that I had it in my hand, and then I just set it back on the ground where I got it from. But I know I still remember where all the areas are. I know exactly how to get there. So.
Now, you made reference to where you said it was wet.
And when you said it was wet, I went back farther, and back there was like it was like marsh, muddy waters. I mean, you'd seriously like kind of sink in. It was like a lot of muddy areas, lots of trees, and then behind that was actually a building. Like hold on, that's not until later. And we went back there, and it ended up being a little farmhouse, like looking barn, and there was like 3 of them. And there was that, a well, and a shed. And I looked around, and there was a bunch of stuff, and there was there was a hazard sign on the side of a truck, on the side of the truck.
Hazardous materials.
And so I looked in the back of the truck. There was nothing there. But I went forward, and then we found, like, because I felt really great about this area. We were like, we kind of went forward, and we searched the other barns and stuff. Didn't really see anything, but we found like clothes, like ripped pants, and we found high school like jogging pants that button up on each side. Like,
okay. Okay. Well, then it might be possible that you were there. Because
I had a feeling like I was, right there where she was, but I heard Dad call my name after I looked down this well. I was looking down a well. It's like a 20-foot well. I don't know if it really has water in it or not, because there's a bunch of barrels and everything thrown down there.
Okay.
And there's like pieces of siding, cardboard, wood, like huge pieces of wood, giant mounds of dirt.
Call him in because we had a lot of.
But he called me, and it was my friend, and Will were going back to where my dad was, and we heard dogs barking.
Okay.
So that might have been the dogs thing. And before I even left to go cut through the woods in the first place, because I found like I was really on doing like really great this day. I found 2 dead animals when I was searching, because like I had feelings, and it kind of just led me to do that. 2 dead animals. And that was like, he said I'm like a bloodhound. And that might have been like the dog thing, and I heard dogs barking.
Yeah, I made reference. I said he's like a bloodhound when it comes to something dead in the woods.
And so after that, I just came back to Dad and told him where I was and what I found and how I felt about things. And I felt really great about that one area. So everything you had in your dream was 100% on.
Okay,
the numbers 2, 4, I'm not 100% proud because I didn't see anything like that. But there are numbers. There's like writing all over the side of the barns and stuff.
Okay.
And that HZ is what the reason I pointed that out, Brian, is when I was talking with Larry and Dalton about the case earlier today, when they were talking to me about the search this afternoon, Larry immediately said he recognizes that as hazard. And you have those letters in a triangle, and they saw the hazard sign there.
Okay, now that would make sense, because I know that hazardous materials, when they put those codes in there, are they're placards. And I believe the placard is a triangle.
Yes, triangle.
Okay, so that might be something. But Dalton, real quick, I want to stress on Dalton. I think that you're going to find Jamie. So if you have feelings or something, I mean, because you're a pretty gifted psychic, I would definitely go with those feelings and go back.
I want something just like that day. I was getting little thoughts in my head that weren't mine. That said, go here, go there.
Okay.
So I kind of just followed where I was getting told to be, and then I had feelings like my stomach started getting lighter and lighter as I got closer.
Okay.
Remember, he's in.
And I could feel things, so.
Yeah.
Hey, and how close would you say he was?
Who are you talking to, me?
Yeah, how close?
I don't, really, Larry, I don't know. I'm looking at the dream drawing. I'm just trying to make my best assumptions of it. I don't know, but it seems to me like you were probably right there, or if not, maybe pretty close.
Before Dad called me, I was actually lifting up a piece of plywood that was like stuck in the ground, like under the mud and stuff. I kind of I kind of stepped on it and I heard like a hollow sound, so I kind of brushed like a bunch of mud off of my shoes, and I went to lift it up, but we didn't find it under there, but I couldn't lift it up all the way, so.
Right. Now, as we know from the Kaylee case, that, you know, it's very, very hard a lot of times to find these bodies. They can be right in front of you and you just don't notice it. So, but if you're getting...
we checked in a lot of things.
Okay, if you're getting that feeling, go back. Go back there.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Larry. No.
The odd thing is, you got 3 bodies.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, we got 6.
Well, no. In the Dogtown area, we got 6. This place is a dumping ground for bodies. Bodies have been dumped there since, what, buddy, about the 50s, you'd say, or 40s?
I wouldn't say that. I'd just say about, like, 60.
Yeah. There's just old, you know how you can differentiate between old death and fresh death? You know what I'm saying?
Not really. Not me. No, not really.
Well, you get different feelings.
You get a different
I'm not psychic, but what I'm saying is that I think that there are 2 other cases that are related to